Oh, we're gonna get going in a second here. Gloving up. Working with Molotov liquid chrome or bust. I'm gonna wait until a few of you jump in here. And for those of you that are hopping on right now, I'm curious how my video quality is because I think my family is on the internet. So if you would let me know how it looks. We're gonna inspect this job here, the Molotov liquid chrome. I applied it at the end of last week. For those of you that hopped on and saw that. Thanks, TDG, appreciate it. How's the music? Too loud? It looks like it's too loud. What's up, Rashawn? Huzi, I don't know what they're gonna reveal. I don't think anything. You think they'll reveal something? They already did their big reveals. I don't know. So there's 7 of you on here. I'm not expecting this. Kind of late night. So let me show you Silver Surfer and the Molotov liquid chrome. I mean, it is a significant difference from what we got. Thank you for whoever gave me the thumbs up on that. Appreciate it. By the way, if you made a comment, I'm not seeing the comments right now. There they are. What's up, MC? So I'm just giving you a look at the liquid chrome effect, and it's beautiful. It is an absolutely beautiful effect. I think the bullseye head right there, for those of you that are wondering, it works phenomenal for this particular figure compared to the original right there. I'm gonna wait until there's 15 of you up in here. We need 3 more, and then I will get going with checking this figure out. See if. Hold on a second. Let me make sure this is a loud music on here. This is a loud music. Can I just play this free music right here? We may not get 15 actually. So how about we drop down the number to 14. So the original Silver Surfer I do like. It's a nice looking figure. The paint is nice. The effect's fine. They give us a ton of hands. But obviously for me, I like the look of this better. And there's 14. 14 people up in here. Let me put it back on the stand. Now, the reason I've gloved up is because I'm going to experiment on this figure. For those of you that did not see me applying this, I have a video. I went live sometime at the end of last week. And I used this pen, for those of you that are not familiar. Liquid chrome. I used 2 different sizes. This is the I think this is, what is this, the 4mm one? Yeah, 4mm. It's just the size of the bit. That's what it looks like. For those of you that haven't seen what this looks like, go check out that video if you're interested. And I think some of the paint got out on this one, so it's stuck a little bit. And it's just a size. They make one size smaller. And I started having some issues on when I painted him up. Let me show you. So I finished him up, and then I started painting the board. And I got through the board only part way, and I think the paint started drying up. So I had to strip the board and start over. And what I actually used for the board, and I'm not done with it because I think I'm going to spray more, is this thing right here. It's Spastics Mirror Chrome. Now, with this, from what I've seen some other people do videos on, after you let it dry, you're able to go in with like a cloth, and then you can see a little bit of the reflection. Let me show you something a little bit darker so you can see what I mean. Well, that's going to be, you're going to think that's the shadow. Maybe that's the shadow. Maybe, I'm a dummy. I think that may be the shadow. I really don't know, guys. I can't tell the difference between a shadow and if it's a mirrored finish. Pretty ridiculous. But anyways, you're supposed to go in with a cloth. I don't have that here. I only did a couple sprays, but it actually matched up closely with the original board. You can see a little bit of a difference. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell the difference on camera. And you know, the lighting here is lighting, and the I think it's the quality of the live feed too is going to hurt. It's only at 720, but it almost matches the original perfectly. Now I do know. Oh, you can see it. Okay, cool. That's good to know, Mickey. Thank you. I wish I had a cloth here. I don't know. Maybe I can do it with a cotton ball. That should be sufficient, right? So let me see if you're supposed to be able to, with some cotton, you see some of the paint does rub off. And when I tested it out, depending on the angle, I could see this getting shinier, right? Which means that over time the effect will wear out, but I think the more and more you put of that spastic stuff, you can see it right there, it comes off a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to tell. Maybe you guys can tell. I mean, it's almost identical to the color that they used on the board, all right? But so that, let me just leave that for now because we're here to see this effect. And of course, the free music's really annoying. I'm going to turn that down a little bit so I don't have to yell and I can hear myself think. So what I started noticing when I applied this liquid chrome, and I'll come back to your questions in a bit if you guys have asked some, is that when I touched it, I started leaving marks. Let me give you an example. You see that right there? So that's after I've let it dry for over a week. I picked it up with my bare fingers, and that's what it did. And I can't buff that out. This is something that's not going to get buffed out. Okay, so to me, that tells me, A, that my finger's really greasy, but I did wash my hands. I washed my hands before I did this. And unfortunately, this paint just doesn't seem to dry hard, which is going to make it problematic, right? Because even if we don't pose our figures very much, we still, you know, especially the Silver Surfer, you'll want to get them into a couple different poses. And you would think over time this paint that would start dulling, but I started noticing right when I started grabbing it, look, it just smudges and it takes the figure away. The chrome effect is just it's gone. It's gone, and it looks horrid, terrible. And I'm looking at the camera right now. I'm hoping you guys are seeing this, but because the lighting is just not very good, I just have like 2 white lights. Maybe in the future I'll get a little bit better lighting system. But from what I'm seeing, I just, you know, I'm repeating myself. So let me just move them around. Move them around a little bit. And now we're going to test it out. All right, so did I seal it with anything? I saw that comment coming in. I tried using my favorite stuff that is like my go-to thing is that Pledge Floor Shine. And I did Pledge Floor Shine, and I did put it over one coat of it, one of my attempts. And I mean, you can see the reflection. I mean, it's really a beautiful finish. It really is, guys. I mean, it's remarkable. I just don't think it's going to hold up for figure purposes. All right. I put Pledge. It kept the chrome. See, there you go. So Christopher Foravalos is saying that he used it on his Archangel, and it left fingerprints all over it. Now, so you see, I'm starting to manipulate this. I'm going to start pressing on it because if it's a fingerprint, like if I can wear gloves and not smudge this thing up, then the paint may be worth it, right? Because, all right, cool. So then if I'm going to go and pose this guy around, I'll just put on some gloves, some cotton gloves or some latex gloves, and we'll be good to go. So let's see, I just left some smudges, but here I'm going to start pressing it. And I'm just going to see if it'll start dulling the paint by just touching it. So this leg, so far so good, right here on the thigh. Now there's going to be some imperfections. Like you remember, I did not go and prep this figure at all. at the joints. I didn't do the joints at all because this was just going to be a test. I saw someone do this on Instagram, and he had it, and it looked beautiful. I'm going, I'm just going to give it a shot. I wasn't sure if it was going to hold up. So it looks like some of it retains in the joint, but obviously, since I didn't prep that joint, it's not going to happen. Now, imperfections. Here's the. Yeah, I saw MC. I saw that person that made that comment. I'm not familiar with that. But I think I asked the question. It didn't seem like that person had actually tried to seal this paint with it. They actually have some experience with it. What I've noticed, sometimes people will make comments, and I appreciate the comments. Don't get me wrong, but some people will make comments and not really have actual experience dealing with the paint. All right, I'm going to start touching this right here. Almost seems like some of the stomach is rubbing off. But some of it is stain. See, there's an area that I tried, but again, this figure is not prepped. Okay, that may have been some of the pledge floor shine, or it may have been that I touched it. You know, if he was on a shelf right now, if he was over here, you guys wouldn't be able to tell. Where you would be able to tell is when you start. For those of you that do ACBA and like taking photographs and or just have some fun taking photographs and you like putting stuff up on your Instagram, I think that's when it's really going to start coming out and being noticeable. But I'm taking a look, and there's just a lot of missed spots, and I think the more and more I'm manipulating this, I'm starting to see that it's getting worn out. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this a bust. I'm going to say this is a bust the way I did it. Okay, there may be a way around it, but this pen hasn't been around long enough. I looked on YouTube. I looked at all, a lot of people that do the model cars use this pen. But those guys aren't touching their cars like we're touching our figures, right? Even if we're just posing it and then moving on. That's not a very cool, appealing pose. So I'm going to say this is the paint for figures is going to be a bust. Unless it's going to be an area you're never going to touch on the figure. And I think it's going to be hard to retain around the joints. But let me show you what happens if I just touch it with my bare hands. Now, obviously, my hand's going to be a little bit sweaty because it's in the latex glove. Oh, actually, it's not. I take it back. It's actually pretty dry. I did wash my hands. Obviously, our hands are going to be oily. Not necessarily a hygiene thing, but let's touch this thigh that looks like it's been maintaining. Let's see my fingers. And now you can see, like almost before your eyes, you see what it's doing to the paint right there? It's coming off on my fingers. So it's kind of I'm disappointed because it does look so incredible when it's first applied, but it's just not going to hold up to any type of touching. I wish the guy on Instagram, I want to shout out his name, that he would have given a little bit more details, and he may have a different technique, different maybe that stuff that one person mentioned on my Instagram. But by the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram, it's Life with Brock, at Life with Brock, just like the YouTube channel. And yeah, I'm a little disappointed. This touch right here, there goes his abs. just wearing it all out. So it's going to dull it up. You guys are seeing it right before your eyes. It's really unfortunate. The good thing that's come out of this is a must. You need to do this for your Silver Surfer. This is not very difficult to do. It's just taking off the ears. Thank you guys that pointed that out. And maybe sculpting a little bit, which is what I did right there in the forehead. That head is money for Silver Surfer. See, it just dulls it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip the paint off this guy, and I'm going to do another experiment. I'm going to strip the paint, and then I am going to try Spastics. I'm going to try Spastics. Let me see if I have the wings that I put on there. No, I don't have the... Maybe I do. Give me a second. Found them. So these are the Archangel Wings, and this was just one coat, and that looks pretty sweet. And I'm imagining that the more coats I put, I mean, it's close to the Silver Surfer color that we have. And I think that with a few more layers, this is the one that you wipe off. After a while, you're able to polish this paint into a more of a mirrored shine. Let me see if I can get this to do it. Yeah, there's a little bit of a difference right here just from me doing this, and that's only from one coat. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's hard because of the light just reflects so much off of this paint. But anyway, I'm going to try the Spastics out. I'm not sure. I missed what you guys were recommending. Let me take a quick look here. Yeah, I mean, I can keep on using the liquid chrome on there, and it will cover it up. But ultimately, this paint, it just doesn't stand up to wear. So I'm gonna elect not to use that on this figure. I'm gonna try a different paint, the Spastics Mirrored Chrome. Let me see. I can't see the guy that you recommended, Roberto. Battle damage. Marcus says, yeah, that works for battle damage. That only happened to Quicksilver, Silver Surfer when he died. That was a great comic. It was a really good read. I'm trying to remember who was the author of it, but anyway, I'm gonna strip this guy. That's what I'm going to be doing for a little bit, and if he dries, I may try to spray him a couple times to see how it goes, but I may actually not have that much time here. All I'm going to be using is one of the girls has some nail polish remover, and I'm going to start first with the head. So what are you guys thinking? Are you guys thinking that Hasbro is going to reveal something tomorrow in the, I think it's the Canada Toy Show? I did primer this figure, but I'm just trying to take off that liquid chrome. Canadian Alpha Flight. Oh my gosh, if they, I was thinking about customizing a puck. That'd be kind of cool if they released puck and maybe gave him some waist articulation. It's too bad because I really had liked how that the black had come out on his mouth with the silver. Canadian Deadpool, huh? Are any of the main guys covering it? Do you guys know? Shartimus Prime going up there? Stuff's just coming off. I think this next time around, I am going to prep the joints, though, before I apply the other paint, because I feel like this other paint's going to do better than the Molotov. Again, I'm not trying to talk trash on the Molotov paint. It's just, it's not, from my experience, from this one experience, it was not good application. It was not a good application for Marvel Legends. White Power Ranger? I know a lot of people like Power Rangers. I think it's a generational thing. Like my generation, they like Marvel Legends, just like you guys do. But they also like Transformers. That's our thing. That's the instead of the Transformers. Instead of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, we like Transformers better. So I got a pretty large Transformer collection. It's actually what I started collecting the most. What's up, Toy Bandit? What are you guys looking forward to this year? I'm looking forward to this Thing. I think the Thing is going to be the figure of the year from what I've seen. I'm going to have to probably give it a good wash after this. Kind of a pain in the butt. Hey, sometimes you swing and miss. And that's what happened here. I swung and I missed. But sometimes you swing and you hit, and it works really nice. This was a bust. Yeah, Doom would be cool. And man, I just need him to get close. I think Doom should have some soft goods. You guys are probably familiar with Craig Warwick. He did one. They looked phenomenal. Look at the difference. I'm just trying to think of what I could have done differently in applying this paint. I don't know. You kind of need it to pool to make that mirrored chrome. it's liquid. I mean, it's literally it's liquid that's coming out. It's not maybe if I would have sprayed it on. Look at that. It's just coming off. Boom. Somebody told me they were going to try. I'm trying to think. Oh, Pat's Collectibles. He told me, I was talking to him after I did this, and he was thinking about doing the spray. You can get a 30 milliliter replacement. That's just the cotton that was coming off. And he was thinking about spray painting this on. Maybe that may help because you'll be spraying less of the paint. And maybe if you spray less of the paint, you know, if you get less paint on this figure than I did, maybe it'll have an easier time of drying, but I don't know. Just trying to get the top layer off and then go back and redo it. So once I'm done doing this, I am going to I'm going to wash the figure like I said. I'm going to take it apart. I'm going to prep the joints, and then I'm going to spray paint this Spastics stuff on it because it looks like it's gone on the board pretty well. So I'm hoping that it's going to have a good result on the figure, and that the paint, after a couple of applications, I haven't tested that out yet. This may be just maybe I've just trashed this figure forever, or maybe I'll just give it one coat and be done with it. And maybe I haven't tested the pledge on this, but there you go. I'll be the test subject. I'll be the guinea pig, and then if you guys end up liking the results, you can try it yourself. Mikey, that head is bullseye. It's really, I think it's in the running for top head sculpt for me from this year. I'm trying to think of, I like Black Bolt also. I thought Black Bolt was a really cool head sculpt. Matter of fact, I bought that figure because of the head sculpt. Because the rest of the figure was the old Bucky cap, and already got a lot of that. So that wasn't very exciting. You know, the figure itself, the costume isn't very exciting, but that head sculpt, man, money. Loved it. Loved that. Okay, I saw some comments coming in. I'm trying to do this. Robert says, with that chrome paint, you have to spray it with a glossy black first, then spray away the chrome. The Spastics. That's what I did on that. I sprayed it with my my glossy black primer, and then I went over it with the Spastics. Robert, have you used it? How many times have you used it before? And what did you use it before on? And if you have any pictures, please tag me. I'd like to see your results. That's right. I even tried to paint down here. He looks like actually looks like a dull metal right now. Oh. I think maybe because maybe I haven't gone to the original paint yet. Maybe this stuff is just caked on here. Oh, you know what? That might be the pledge that's on here. Now, pledge, just so you guys know, it's an acrylic base. It's essentially like a clear acrylic. So that may be what you guys are seeing there. Robert says he's done the arms for Cyber, Cable, Tech Spidey, but you have to catch the light right because there's a shadow effect. Okay, cool, yeah. The Spastics also has this one paint that I'm thinking about. I was thinking about doing that guy in. It's like a black paint, but it's got multicolor hues in it. Forget what the name of the paint is, but it looks pretty sweet. And in the comics, if you guys read the most recent Thanos run, I'm gonna forget his name, but it's a Silver Surfer. But he's murdered out. You young kids know what murdered out is. For you old fogies like me, apparently murdered out means that he's blacked out. Everything's blacked out. That's right. I'm in with the hip lingo. Know what I mean, fam? You millennials are cracking me up with your new lingo. I'm looking forward to a thing coming out. What else is due? I don't think is there anything due at the end of the year? I thought Magic was also supposed to be come out at the end of the year. I think the thing may be due like in September, the end of September. And I just saw right before I hopped on here, somebody was reporting it that they had found it somewhere in Texas. And now some of these people, the stores do get them early. The stores get them early, and some of them will sell them early. Other ones will make you wait. I remember I went toy hunting one time for the Ares wave. Who was the Build-A-Figure on that? Oh yeah, the Gladiator Hulk wave, because I wanted that Ares. And one of my oldest daughter and I, we went hunting a few cities away from here, and they had them in. They had them in. And they didn't sell them to me. And guess what happened? You guys closed down. If you would have just made that sale, player. Super Dave, what's going on? No, it's going to be a no-go. It's a bust, in my opinion. For this type of application, it's just not going to cut it. So I'm taking off the paint and the acrylic paint that I had put on here to cover it. Sorry if that's getting shaky, guys. I'm using my elbows for leverage here. That's how I need to get it down to that, and it still looks like that. It looks like Robert says that they have them out in Houston. MC, I am planning on using the magnets. That's still planned out. I was thinking about where I'm gonna apply the magnets. I was thinking about just using those holes, or not the holes, but the circles right there, and adding magnets. I had also thought about using like a stronger magnet. That way, I could position it wherever I want on the board. And I do have some stronger magnets, but I haven't figured that out yet. I wanted to figure out that paint, and it looks like obviously it's not going to work. So now I'm going to, when I take the figure apart and I prep the joints, I'm going to put the magnets on. That's going to be an exploration too of placement. Yeah, man, I put a lot of this. I mean, I'm telling you, I caked. I shouldn't have said I caked. I put a couple of layers of the Pledge Floor Shine, just hoping that it would protect the paint. But it just because it's liquid, I think the state that it settles in is it just doesn't have the opportunity to get hard enough, and that's why it leaves those impressions that you saw me leaving on the figure. Okay, cool. Rafael Robledo, I will. Peace out. I know it's late. We had some plans tonight and they got canceled. So I had an opportunity to hop in here, and people had been asking me for an update. Well, now you guys have your Silver Surfer update. It did not work for those of you that have jumped in late here. And now you see one little mistake, how much effort you have to put back into it to get it back to base. And there's silver chrome in there. Now that silver chrome's gonna stay there. Look, inside. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's. Yeah, it's still sticky. I need to put more of this crap on. Scubrea, what's going on? Man, it's really sticky. All right, let's get some more cotton on this thing. I hope the girls have this nail polish tomorrow. All right, let me just focus on, now that I've gone pretty much everywhere, let me just focus on one area at a time. We'll start with the neck. See if I can get everything off of here. Over a week. I let it cure for over a week. Rashawn. It's probably because, I don't know, maybe the area that you're in, you don't have a bunch of these uppity ups. I should be careful. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I just think some of the language is funny. Even the older guys like Plastic Attic will use some of the newer terms too, but that's because he's a cool cat. George Johnson. For those of you that follow Plastic Attic, he's been on a friggin' mission with videos. He called me. I asked him a question. Somebody had done actually a pretty cool looking Batman cartoon of him. They put his face on it. You can tell it's like a cartoon Plastic Attic. It looked awesome. So I told him, "Hey man, when you put it up on your channel?" And he's like, "You haven't been watching my videos, bro." I'm like, "I'm a working man." I think he put out like 6 videos. Yeah, thank you for the reminder. It will. Yeah, it will melt it. It is acetone based, but it also has vitamin E. Let me see. So I probably should. It says extremely flammable. I probably wouldn't want to take it to the store, and definitely don't want to put it in my eyeball. I'm trying to see where it says acetone. Right there, acetone. Boom. And it will melt the plastic. And I do want to get this washed up. I just want to clean up all the smudges that are on here. You see how that's coming off right there? The smudges are right there. That's from the pledge, because I put so much on it. So I probably should just get after it right now. Get as much of it off, and then go wash this off before it ruins the plastic. So far, so good. Now this plastic is a little bit better. There was a transformer back before I started doing customs. My mom painted a couple of the transformers, and I got her. You know, if you guys are into transformers or know about them, there was the Beast War. Was it the Beast Wars? The Beast Hunters. Beast Hunters. It was based on the Transformer Prime series. And there were some like cheap ones that I got from Ross, like for $10, and I had her paint it. I wanted to see what she could do to like turn it more metallic. And so she messed up on the paint, and then she used this stuff. It shredded the plastic. It was more brittle. This is a more gummier plastic. I may come back and say, hey guys, guess what? Another custom tip: don't use acetone. But yeah, so I'm pretty confident right now that it's just taken off the top layer. It hasn't even gotten through the original paint. Dang. Whew. It's a workout. Those of you that are doing customs, what are you guys working on? Or those of you that just follow people doing customs, have you guys seen anything really cool lately? I saw one on Instagram, and that's another custom that I put on my to-do list. It's M'Baku, the man ape, but the comic book version. I would give the guy a shout out right now when I start that custom, I will give him a shout out. He did this custom using the Sasquatch base. I just picked up the Sasquatch wave, the base for 25 bucks on one of the groups on Facebook. So I thought it's a sweet deal. I'll hop all over it. And then Abel, one of the guys from Fig Life Miami, he's gifting me with a few fodder figures, and one of the fodder figures is the oh crap, I'm gonna forget his name. It's based on the Hyperion mold, and he's one of the snake guys. What's his name? You guys will know it. And they used the head, and he kit bashed like a monkey, or excuse me, a gorilla head from Hobby Lobby that he picked up. And I went over there, I couldn't find it, and it looks awesome. Yeah, the Molotov didn't work, at least in my case. Your mileage may vary, but I mean, I put a fan on it. It's pretty hot where I live, and it's not humid, so that wasn't going to be an issue. Let me get some water on this guy real quick. Be right back. All right, back at it here. Yeah, it looks like I still have quite a bit to do on him. I just want, before I paint him, I want to get all that grimy stuff off. Thanks, Jared. I appreciate that. I do enjoy teaching. Oh, Rashawn saw Juggernaut. Cool. From a Storm Collectible. Which body did they use? Sorry, I'm sure I missed some. Oh, Cottonmouth. There you go. You got it, Marcus. Yeah, Juggernaut he's actually some that I've been customizing. It's already kit bashed. I have to do a little bit of joint prep before I paint, and I'm just really nervous about painting it. I don't know why. Painting kind of intimidates me. That's something in my game that I need to improve, and I just have to get after it and try it. But I've been using the last couple times. If you guys followed my Thanos build, I did use an airbrush, and actually it came out pretty good for my skill level. And one thing that I was missing was one of those booths, and I just picked one up on the last Amazon, or the last eBay sale. One with LED lights. Oh, Zangief. Yo, yeah, that would probably. Oh man, can you tag me on that, Rashawn? I'm at Life with Brock. I'd like to see that because that man, that's a great body mold for the Juggernaut. There's also a guy. For those of you that saw Deadpool 2, I haven't seen it yet, but I did see the Juggernaut, and it looks like they got him right. And he's got that yellow prison uniform. There's a couple people that are making them on Instagram, and that's just something else. I don't have time to do it, but I do have a Marvel Select that I extended the torso and I was going to customize because I wanted to have more articulation. This was early on, and he's primed and ready to go, but I don't feel like painting him. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this guy, and I'll do a review on my website. When he's got to let me know when he's finishing, and I got to pay him. When he finishes it, then I'm going to just paint the arms, and that's going to be good. I don't want to get rid of that figure because that was literally the figure that got me into collecting the superhero genre. I remember telling my wife, because right after I had gotten into collecting Transformers, I was collecting all sorts of Transformers, even the cheapy Hasbro ones. And I remember we were at Walmart or at Target, and I saw the Mandroid Wave Captain America. I'm like, oh my gosh, that thing looks frigging awesome. And I kept on seeing it over and over and over at the store. And I'm like, man, I really want. So then I started doing research. But I remember telling her, honey, don't worry about it. I'm not going to pick up any of these. So then I, of course, started researching it online. That's part of the fun, right? And I saw that Juggernaut, and it is an impressive sculpt. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about or who I'm talking about, look up Marvel Select Juggernaut and go watch a review. Don't just look at the pictures. Go watch the review. Somebody that has a nice video. And man, it is a great looking sculpt. Nice looking. It's very good paint. The only problem with it, in my opinion, is it's a little bit big for the Marvel Legends, and it doesn't have very good articulation. So there's only just a couple. You can't even get them in too many dynamic poses. I think there's barely one that you can get him into. And that was the first figure I bought. I think I paid like $20 on Amazon for him, shipped. And that thing weighs like 5 pounds, man. So heavy. I'm exaggerating, but. Oh, 30 people up in here. What's up, guys? Yeah, so it's the movie Juggernaut he just did. Yeah, please tag me, Rashawn. I love to see that. Juggernaut is one of my favorite characters because I remember when I was a kid and I first read comic books, Jim Lee was drawing. He was one of my favorite artists, and I remember seeing. Matter of fact, I still have it. I still have the comic book with Juggernaut in it. Man, I sure put a lot of stuff on this guy, man. And if you're thinking, oh, you put a lot of stuff, and maybe that's the issue that you had with the paint. I don't think so. I considered that. That was after I was having problems already with the paint not adhering. Make sure I get everything out of the butterfly joint right here. Yeah, he's still pretty sticky. Not as much as before. So I've been able to take off the majority of stuff, but you can still see some of that on there, and I want to get all that off because I want to start anew. I may actually have to shave this down too, Who said that? Let me see. Where you at? Who was that? Yeah, David, definitely. That's I should do that, and I didn't do that on this guy, but with this, it comes very recommended. Everybody that every video that you watch online is you lay down the black, which is what I did on that one. I laid down the black first, and you want it to be glossy black. The glossier, the better. For some reason, this paint really reacts well to it. So I'm gonna have to do some joint prep. I'm almost gone an hour here. I don't want to bore you guys to death. I appreciate the 29 of you that are still left just watching this and hearing me talk. But I'm gonna start repeating myself here pretty quick because I'm old and I'm gonna forget what I said and you guys are gonna laugh at me. So I want to stop this before it gets annoying. You see that silver still in there? The chrome still in there? Does your Silver Surfer have that little bit right here? I don't want to grab that one with what I have on my hands right now. I'm gonna go for another like 5 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna end this. This is just to be an update on the Molotov liquid chrome. So those of you that are, again, hopping in late, it was a failed experiment, or actually it was I wouldn't say necessarily failed because we learned. Thanks, Marcus. I'm gonna be 43 here pretty soon. Guys, I'm telling you, you would have. I was an athlete in college, pretty decent athlete. I got my schooling paid for. If you would have told me in college, hey, when you're 40 something, you're gonna be playing with dolls, I would have laughed in your face. If you would have told me that I was gonna be painting figures, customizing figures, I would have laughed in your face. I was like, you crazy? Never. I wish, if I had to do school again, which I wouldn't. Who wants to do school again? Sorry for those of you guys that are having to go through it right now. Sucks. But if I had to do it again, I'd take art. I'd take sculpture. I'd take anything related to it because I could certainly use it right now. I don't understand the color wheel. I don't know how that works. I don't know how to mix paints with colors. I just go with what looks best. So there's not, when I start painting, and that's part of the intimidating factor of having to paint if you've never painted before, is like, what colors go well here? You can go obviously based on the character, that helps you out some, right? But when you have a bunch of different reds and you need to line them up, like what color do you use to line them up? White? What about with greens? If you use white with greens, it's going to make it look like this matte, like minty. It'll make it look like that. I learned that when I was painting Yoda. You want to put yellow to line them up. Well, shoot, I would have learned that in school if I would have taken those classes in school. But no, I was an athlete. So 1,000 Wolves is asking, is that chrome tacky when it dries? Just rewind when this video is, as soon as I sign off, go back and check, and I did test so you can see what happens. So it's not tacky. What's happening with this, what's tacky here is the Pledge Floor Shine that I put as a sealer on the figure. And that's what I'm getting off. The chrome, for the most part, is off the figure right now. What you're seeing, the silver that's left on the figure is from the original color. And then this other stuff, let me see if I can show you. just got to find a part that, so you'll see that part right there is kind of darker. Hold on a second. Paul, are you kidding me right now? Are you trying to get me to burn myself? Or are you being for reals? Because I'm pretty sure, Paul, it says extremely flammable. Pretty sure. Unless you know something. Oh, lighter fluid. Oh, no joking. So if I were to put lighter fluid, I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. I thought you, if I think I just misread it or misunderstood it. I thought you were telling me to like light this up, like put a flame to it. So you're not telling me to burn myself. That's good. So the lighter fluid, I've seen that. It almost works like Goo Gone, right? Right. That's a Weibo. That's exactly who I saw do that. Toy Polloi. And removing some of the old like Transformer stickers and things to that nature. Yeah, Paul. Thanks, Paul. I thought you were just messing with me, man. I read that. Hey, yeah, just light it up. Like it's gonna be the Human Torch. And then you're gonna hear, the ambulance coming to my house. I don't have any lighter fluid right now. Okay, so there you see it. You see how I gave it some love right there, and it took it off. So let me do it on this side. There you go, and that takes it off. You think that lighter fluid though? I think the gumminess that lighter fluid, and I don't have any experience doing anything. Okay, I'm just logically thinking it out. That lighter fluid is going to take off that sticky, gummy stuff. Now this is not that. This stickiness is from the Pledge, which is acrylic based. I don't know if maybe it would do the same. You know what I mean? I'm not working this weekend, so I'll probably go live sometime Saturday or maybe even tomorrow again, because I'm either gonna I have a couple projects that I can finish up pretty quickly. If you guys watch that Iceman, I think I can finish that Iceman kind of quickly, and then I may do some more work on this guy and try to get him before I do that Spastics, because I'll have that new airbrush area that I can hook up so the fumes won't hurt anybody in here. So I feel it just depends if I'm motivated to do it, because sometimes it sounds like a great idea and then I don't have the feeling to do it, and since this is just a hobby, if I don't feel like doing it, I don't do it. But I think that's where I'm going to stop, guys. Right there with that figure. Thanks for hanging around. And just to show you the difference, that chrome would have worked great. But the problem with this chrome is that when you put your fingers on it, it starts reacting poorly to it. And now, when I'm touching that, it's actually not doing anything. Really? All right, so the application on this head, oh shoot. What does that mean? I'm squeezing it even. Well, golly, guys, I don't know what to tell you now. You saw what happened on his body when I touched it. You saw what happened to this head when I touched it. And now, maybe it's because my fingers are completely dry. I did both heads with pledge. Both heads. This body got a ton of it. If you can see, the residue that I still have in here. Okay, now I'm miffed. Please start rubbing off. Well, this one is a little bit more durable for whatever reason. I don't know why. But if the pain, and actually I'm feeling it, and it feels different. But as you can see, it's duller too. Shoot. It's not, I'm wondering if it's because my hands were super dry from wearing the gloves, the powder on the gloves. Crap. I mean, that's not affecting it at all. Well, I don't know if well, certainly they're different heads, but if you can see right there, it's essentially the same because it's going on the same body. Well, son of a gun. Like, that head is perfect. But it's definitely not as chromy as the body was. I'm in a quandary, guys. I don't know what to say about that. Don't know what to tell you. So maybe your mileage will vary when you if you give this a go and you have a different result, or you figure out what works over what. I don't know what to say now. I really don't. Other than the fact that I'm not going to redo it, even though this head is, it's pretty good. Shoot, I don't know what the heck happened, man. Same time. I think I put the same amount of paint on it, and that chrome's, if that chrome would have stayed here, it wouldn't have been an issue. I would have just been, I wouldn't have been as rough as I'm being right here. No, they feel the same. I think if anything, this may be, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not sure if it's because if it's a different plastic or not, but I am, you can hear what I'm doing here, and it's not rubbing the chrome off. Now, it is taking a little bit of the, it's dulling it up, but I mean, I'm manhandling that thing. Okay. I'm at a loss for words. Don't know what to say. Guys, thanks for hanging out. Let me just, last time, I'm going to look through the comments here, see if I missed anything. All right, thanks, Rashawn. Zippo lighter fluid contains naphtha, FY, in case you can't get it in your area. Thank you very much. No, this doesn't. I'm pretty sure it won't polish. No. Oh, wait a second. That rubbed the paint off. But I wouldn't be doing this to, a freshly painted face either. I'm not going to be going, hey. So yeah, it's the paint's coming off. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. But I mean, you. Oh. Stigma, no, it didn't. The chrome paint did not work. Just go to the very beginning of the video and you will see the results. Thanks for coming on, guys, and I will catch you maybe tomorrow, maybe on Saturday. Peace.